Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about a time I had to fire an employee that loved their job. Well, this was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do in business. And I had an employee that I had hired on as a bartender at my axe throwing business. And the employee was a pretty bubbly and fun person. In fact, a lot of the customers really enjoyed their banter, and the staff got along with them pretty good as well. But there were problems, and this individual would overpour and not use the measuring tools that we had given to him, which is kind of a big deal in a bar. I mean, the bars lose a ton of money by overpouring and giving away free alcohol. And I'm not really in the business of losing money. So this person was warned, essentially, and it got to a point where we had given them a formal write-up. And when we wrote them up, they kind of blew it off and said, well, kind of laughed about it and said, whatever. Well, that's not really what you want to say to your boss when they write you up. I mean, a write-up is not an insult. It's not something that's saying, it shouldn't be looked at as a negative. In fact, it should be looked at as a positive opportunity for growth. And say, hey, this is an area we could work on. And I'm in Ohio. I could just fire you if I wanted to. But that's not what I want. I don't want to just fire someone who's essentially a part of my family. I mean, all my staff members are essentially a part of my family. And that's expensive for me as well to do. And people like this person. So I didn't want to do that. But that's not the right attitude to have. And there were several other occasions where this individual was messing up. And in all honesty, we probably gave them more time than we should have. This individual should have been let go a long time ago. But like I said, they were a likable person. The customers liked them. The staff members had a good relationship with this individual, and so it was very difficult. Well, we had right at this person again, and the same attitude. It was like kind of blowing it off, and it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. And the crazy part is, this person was it was a part-time job for them, and they had their full-time job was managing other people. Essentially, this person had people below them that this individual was managing. And some of the things that they would complain about their workers, we had the problems with them. And so it's kind of ironic, I guess, when you look back on it. Well, it was time to let them go, because 3 strikes, you're out. And we gave them actually more than enough warnings and said, hey, like, this is a serious thing. Like, I know you're joking around about it, but we take this very seriously. And this individual came into work, and I pulled them aside and said, hey, I'm sorry, but I have to let you go. And this individual basically told me that they loved the job and they would do anything to keep it, that they'd be on their best behavior, that they wouldn't make any mistakes again. Well, it was too late for that. And they could have, when I wrote them up the first or second time, they could have said that, like, hey, like, I know, but I'll do better, and had a little bit better attitude. And so I have no indication that you're going to get better or that you're going to do better. And this person, they kind of begged me to keep the job, and that was probably one of the hardest moments in my entrepreneurship career, is saying no. Your time with us is over, because you don't want to fire people that love their job. That's not, it's usually not it's not the best way to get morale with your staff. But rules are rules. And when you write someone up, they got to take it seriously. And we followed the procedures and gave her all the warnings. And in the end, it had to be done. And it sucked. She actually said hey, give me another opportunity and talk it over, and I won't mess up again. And I said, no, it's over. And with that, they walked away, and we documented it, and that was that. So if you have rules, we have to follow them. Have a procedure. And in all honesty, especially if you're an agreeable person, it's going to be hard to fire people, and especially going to be hard to fire people that love the job and that people like. But that doesn't mean that their time hasn't come. It doesn't mean that they they don't need to go, because sometimes if they're not good for, and this person could have been great at doing what they did on a full-time basis, but they made some major mistakes with us, and it ended up costing them. So you got to stick true to your guns, and if someone needs to go, write them up, follow the rules, follow the procedures that you have your company set up, and get rid of them. So I hope this video was of value to you, and if you got any questions or concerns or need help with doing that kind of stuff and talking with people and letting them go and setting up policies, just let me know. I'd love to help you guys out, and I'll talk to you in the next video.